Coronation Street has indicated that Jodie Ramsey may have sealed her own fate, as her disturbing and manipulative plan involving David Platt appears to be increasingly exposed. Coronation Street's gripping Murder Week storyline may have reached a dramatic and shocking conclusion, but the tension and fallout are far from over, with many viewers convinced that Jodie's final words to David strongly hint at further trouble looming ahead. Although it has now been confirmed within the storyline that Jodie is not the murder victim in the current whodunit mystery, that revelation does not necessarily guarantee her safety moving forward. The ITV soap has spent several weeks carefully building anticipation through a series of dramatic twists, misdirection, and suspenseful developments about which character might ultimately die. In the episode broadcast on May 1st, viewers witnessed a sequence of intense scenes in which Theo Silverton was discovered dead in a dark alleyway. Carl Webster was left in critical condition after flatlining in hospital, and Maggie Driscoll was found unconscious on the street following an apparent attack. Meanwhile, Jodie fled Weatherfield after her failed attempt to seduce her brother-in-law, David. Before leaving, Jodie also attempted to manipulate the narrative by convincing David and his sister Sarah Platt that he had made unwanted advances toward her and that she had rejected him. As she departed, she left behind a voicemail message repeating the same claim, insisting that David needed to stop pursuing her. Many fans now strongly suspect that Jodie is deliberately attempting to frame David, potentially setting him up for a far more serious crime, possibly even murder. One viewer compared her actions to the storyline of Gone Girl, where Amy Dunn orchestrates her own disappearance and fakes her death in order to incriminate her husband after discovering his infidelity. Another fan supported this theory, suggesting that Jodie could soon go missing in a similar fashion, only to return later and create further chaos and disruption. According to this idea, her disappearance might be part of a long-term and calculated scheme. Viewers are also speculating that Theo may not be the only character to die in the storyline, as both Carl and Maggie have sustained serious injuries that could potentially prove fatal in upcoming episodes. Some fans have even suggested that multiple characters could lose their lives, especially given that both Jodie and Megan Walsh are currently unaccounted for. At the same time, others believe that Jodie may actually be the only character who is clearly still alive and out of immediate danger, leading to ongoing debate among fans about her ultimate fate. Throughout the week, Coronation Street structured its episodes to spotlight a different character each day, with Jodie's storyline taking center stage on Wednesday, April 29th. During that episode, Jodie was preparing to leave Weatherfield when she was unexpectedly confronted by her niece, Lily Platt. After Lily left the scene, two mysterious men arrived at number 8 and encountered Shona Platt, who is both Jodie's half-sister and David's wife. She initially denied knowing anything about Jodie's whereabouts, but when the men became aggressive and attempted to grab her, Jodie intervened by shouting at them, forcing them to retreat. These same men had previously appeared in earlier episodes, where they pressured a young girl named Olivia into retrieving a USB stick that Jodie had in her possession. After obtaining the device, they warned that they would return if it did not contain what they were looking for. Following this tense encounter, Shona managed to convince Jodie to remain in Weatherfield for the time being. However, the situation escalated dramatically when Jodie discovered evidence suggesting that Shona had known about her whereabouts during childhood but had chosen not to make contact. Feeling deeply hurt and betrayed, Jodie reacted angrily by stealing Shona's phone, responding to a message from an intoxicated David, and then climbing into his bed while pretending to be Shona. David only realized the truth when they began kissing, at which point Jodie's plan completely fell apart. After this failed attempt, she once again prepared to leave Weatherfield, only to be stopped by Lily, who pleaded with her to stay, adding yet another emotional complication to an already volatile situation. Coronation Street viewers believe they may have finally figured out who is responsible for killing Theo Silverton, as a gripping whodunit storyline begins to unfold in Weatherfield following the villain's dramatic death. For many fans of the ITV soap, Theo's downfall had been a long time coming, with audiences having endured his increasingly disturbing behavior ever since James Cartwright first appeared in the role of the Builder in March 2025. After initially striking up a romance with Todd Grimshaw following a chance meeting on the cobbles, Theo quickly revealed his darker nature, leading to a powerful and unsettling storyline centered around coercive control and domestic abuse. As viewers will recall, earlier this year, Todd made the difficult decision to leave Theo after Billy Mayhew uncovered the full extent of the abuse his friend and former partner had been suffering. However, Billy's plan to help Todd escape was dramatically disrupted when they were preparing to return to Weatherfield from the wedding of Debbie Webster and Ronnie Bailey in Yorkshire, only for Theo to unexpectedly appear, creating an extremely tense and uncomfortable situation. The tension escalated even further when the minibus carrying them became involved in a devastating multi-vehicle crash during the high-profile crossover event with Emmerdale, widely referred to by fans as Corriedale. While most passengers managed to escape the wreckage, Billy was left trapped by his seatbelt. Although Theo initially appeared to return to rescue him, he instead cruelly ensured Billy remained trapped before abandoning the vehicle, which then exploded in flames. In the aftermath of that, Theo's behavior, particularly towards Todd, became even more threatening and unstable, culminating in disturbing scenes where he violently attacked Todd and left him hospitalized. Todd later showed immense courage by giving a formal statement to the police about the abuse he had endured. However, due to a lack of sufficient evidence, authorities were unable to charge Theo, allowing him to remain free and continue moving around the cobbles. As fans already knew, Theo had been named as one of 5 victims in a looming murder mystery storyline. During Monday's episode, April 27, he broke the conditions of an order requiring him to stay away from Todd, reacting angrily when he found his former partner back at their flat preparing to leave for Thailand. A violent confrontation followed inside the flat, during which George Shuttleworth intervened to help Todd escape, even though he was physically struck by Theo in the process. Despite the arrival of the police, Theo managed to flee the scene, only to track Todd down again shortly afterwards. Fortunately, George arrived just in time to calm the situation and prevent further harm. However, the danger did not end there. Still recovering from being hit, George initiated another attempt to stop Theo by pretending to suffer from a leg cramp before suddenly lunging at him. He managed to drag Theo into the bathroom, allowing Todd to secure the door by tying a dressing gown cord around the handle, giving them a brief window to escape. Even then, Theo managed to evade the police once more and confronted Todd again. Todd had already gotten into a taxi to head to the airport for his trip, but realized he had forgotten his phone. After asking the driver to wait, he returned to retrieve it, only to come face to face with Theo standing in a dimly lit street, ominously holding the missing phone in his hand, setting the stage for the fatal events that would soon follow.